And welcome back to there. Yeah, again, another Dead by Daylight video. This time we're going to be rating killers. I'll start with the worst killer, and we're going to be rating them based off how fun it is to play as killer. And for the ones I don't have, it's going to be how fun I think you'll be to play as killer. And this is my personal opinion mixed in with what I see, especially for these ones, because my opinion would probably be very biased on some of these, so I'll try to keep it a little more neutral for the ones I don't own. But the ones I do own, I can rate these way better. So first would be the one I think would be the least amount of fun to play as, and probably the most boring. And I don't think a lot of people is going to be angry with it, but it's going to be the Nightmare. I don't think his perks are actually that good. I mean, they're decent, but I think that's the only reason you would actually get him. The play as his killer's ability, it's pretty passive, and the being teleport degenerates definitely makes him a little fun to play, but I don't see it enough used to think that's that easy to play as. But it's definitely not a bad killer. I don't think any killers in the game are bad. But the play as, I think it is kind of going to be a little boring to play as. And next, after that, is definitely going to be... Let me just look through real quick. I'm going to say the Hillbilly. I think a pro Hillbilly will be able to play against, like, top-tier survivors and have an insane amount of fun. But if you're just, like, a normal guy, just testing all the killers, playing for fun and all of that, the Hillbilly would be on the very bottom of your list, because the chainsaw, unless you take hours practicing with it, it's very hard to control. And this is from my personal experience. I don't like him playing at all. If I didn't know everything I know about the Nightmare, this would be the worst. But I know how bad he is to play as. After the Hillbilly, I don't know. Let me just look through real quick. To play as, I'm going to have to say probably the Twins. I feel like the Twins, if I had it, I'd have a lot of fun and play with it a lot, but I feel like it's still very annoying to play as, and it probably needs a rework. But I definitely would prefer playing this over the Hillbilly and the Nightmare, and that's the main reason why it is. Its perks are worse than both of them combined, but it is a little more fun to play as than the other ones with interesting abilities. That's the reason why it's there. After that, I think it's going to have to be the Blight, mostly because I see no one ever play with it. I don't really know how to play against him, because I never play, like, and I'm assuming to play as him, it would be decently fun, and a little more fun than the Twins. But his ability, as far as I can tell, is just rushing forward, as it says, like rushing forward at burst of speed. That's what I think it is. I think it's a great ability and nothing needs to be changed. I think a lot of people will have it as its favorite, but I think it's not that fun to play as compared to others. And after him, I'm going to say it's tough, but I'm going to say the Clown and then the Plague. And the reason that the Clown is only because only one bottle he has is fun, and that is his one that slows down survivors, making them cough and stuff. His other one, which is a speed, is useless. Very useless. Definitely need to rework on that. That ball is just really annoying. But I do think I prefer playing this over the Blight. But I do think I'd not want to play it over the Plague, because the Plague is actually a decently interesting killer to play as, and I would actually like playing as it. But I think I'll only like playing as it for a few matches, then I get very bored and probably not play with it again. That's why it's there. After the Plague, it'd have to be the Spirit. I actually think the Spirit is a very cool. I think its Rancor has a very interesting ability, and its perks are really good. In the play as, I think its like teleporting, or was it phase walking ability is actually pretty interesting, and I like it a lot. I like it a lot. After the Spirit, I think it will be. I think it will be the Cannibal. I think he just needs... I don't know. You can't change him. But I think he's just not the... He's definitely more fun than a lot of other killers that I listed. And he's pretty on par. And I think a lot of people do like playing as him, because I do face him occasionally. But there's two types of people that play this. And that's camping. And it's not using really a chainsaw that much. So I understand it's very limited how you play as him. So that's why he's a little on the list. But he is seems like very fun, and like after him, we're getting the killer style I very much enjoy playing as. So after the cannibal, looking on this list, it's going to be a tie, and it's going to be the executioner and the oni. I see these killers. I think they're both of their abilities. He has several different types of abilities. I think he's very cool, along with his like hooks that he has. I think that's very cool, and I definitely like him and think he's a great killer. I've had very much fun playing as him. Just not as much fun as the other people that are on the list. And these two are tied because the Oni also sounds like a lot of fun with his unique abilities, his speed, and his like insta down, and his blood, like how he collects blood orbs. I think it's very interesting. I like it very very much. And I really can't decide which one prefer more, the Executioner or the Oni. And it's honestly just such a tie that I can't place one over the other, so they're stuck like that. After the Oni, it's gonna be the Trickster. A lot of people think this killer sucks, but I like its throwing ability that it throws so many. And Crouch Control actually seems like very good. I think No Way Out also is a very good one. So I actually like this one a lot, and I think it gets a bad rap. But I think he's a pretty cool killer, and I have a lot of fun, like a lot of fun playing as. After the Trickster, it's going to be the Doctor. The Doctor's just like that basic super fun killer to play as. His like ability to make you scream, finding survivors, and I think he has one for generators, which is really good. So I think he would be a fun killer to play as, like a very fun killer. Let's see. After the Doctor, let me look into this. I'm going to say Trapper. Yeah, I think the Trapper is a very good killer. I know a lot of people don't like how his traps work, but I think it's balanced. The only thing I would change is just his traps spawning already triggered, be able to trigger, so you don't have to manually set them all. Because there's matches where your survivors just push each edge, so you only have like 3 traps to move around, and the other ones are just useless. So I think they had it so that all traps spawn already active by default. Because I know there's perks to set that. It'd be way more fun. After a Trapper, it's going to be, I'm going to have to say the Knight. I think I see the Knight, the play as. I think he's fun, but I think he's kind of like the Twins. Like, you have to like that ability that Twins have to play as him. But I do think he's very good. And I played against him a few times, and he seems like a decent killer, very fun killer to play as too. So I think he earns a spot there. And after the Knight, it's probably going to be the Mastermind. His abilities are pretty cool and a little broken, to be honest, his perks. So I think his perks carry him a little bit. But he's also a decently fast killer who could pretty much pressure gens and survivors quite well. And stop a lot of exhaustion perks from activating immediately. So I think he's actually a very good killer. I had a lot of fun playing as him. Let's see. After after him, let's see. I think it's going to be the Nemesis. I like his zombies abilities. I wish they redo it so that, kind of like the Knight, the zombies could like control around a generator and not just spawn randomly. Because they are fun, they are like decent, but the survivors just outmaneuver them easily. But I do think he's a decent killer besides the zombies, so I think he's very fun to play as. Let's see. After the Nemesis, let's go with. This is tough. I'm gonna go say the Nurse. Yeah. These are like killers that I have played a lot and really fun. I think the Nurse, once you get used to her, it took me about 5 matches or so to get used to her. And I played about 5 matches with the Hill Building. I still off of it. So the Hill Building is definitely way harder, and it needs to be its difficulty changed. But the Nurse is actually very fun. You get good with the Nurse, you have best of time. It's very unique. Its perks are really decent, or I mean, some of them are. Nurse's Call is really the best one, but it's amazingly good as a killer. And if you, I know some people might be angry that's so low on this list actually, but that I have to put it there. I think the Nurse just has its unique ability going for it. Besides that, not much. After the Nurse, I'm going to go say this is a little tough. I'm going to say the Onryo. I think the Onryo is a very unique killer. I like how it's very hard to track. I like that ability of hers. So it's a very unique ability to her specifically, because a lot of other killers are like, oh, well, they have no killer radius. True. But she also kind of has one, not all the time. And she glitches out sometimes, so you might not know if she's looking at you, looking away from you, if she's following you. It's very interesting killer, and I'd have a lot of fun playing as it. After Onryo, I'm going to have to say the Dredge. I actually don't like playing against the Dredge. I think it's very overpowered how its night is. It needs to last less amount of time and increase the amount you can see of it. But I do think it's a decent killer to play as, and you would have a lot of fun, especially going locker to locker. So, I think it earns its place right there. Just make sure I don't forget any that are worse. Okay, let me think. After the Dredge, I'm going to say the Artist. Yeah, I think the crows need to be buffed for the Artist. Make it detect survivors for a greater distance, because right now it's pretty weak, if I'm being perfectly honest. But definitely not bad killer, and doesn't need to be changed. It's fine how it is, and I think it's a pretty good killer. And then after that, it's going to be the Cenobite. I think the Cenobite, it's broken or it's awful. One or the other. It's nothing else in between. It's broken or it's awful. I've seen many broken killers play as it where they can absolutely, like, get all of us hung before gen's done. And I also seen ones where we keep stopping them from getting those chains, and they have a hard time. So I don't know what you could do with this killer, but it is very fun to play as, in my opinion. I think it is. So that's all these. The only one I hadn't done yet is Ghostface, but he would be next. I have to get, maybe Deathstingler next? Let me think. No, I think it's going to have to be the Pig. I think the Pig is somewhat fun to play as, but again, as Survivor, the Pig is probably one of the more broken killers of the game. I know a lot of people think it's not broken at all, it's quite weak, but no. As able to ambush survivors is very good. Very good. Nothing needs to be changed for this, to be perfectly honest. Even though I want nerfed, I'd leave it. And it is decently fun to play as. After the Pig, I'm going to have to say, it's probably going to be Deathslinger. His ability to have a gun is very cool. Pulling them in. I think it's very good. I think its range probably needs to be increased from both perspectives, but it's a very good killer. Doesn't really need to be changed too much. Its abilities are really cool too. And then after that, it's going to have to be the Legion. The Legion has just... It's a very broken, and I don't see it played a lot, and I think that's why it gets away with it. But it can jump so many pallets so quickly and everything. It's broken. Very broken. After it, the Legion, which is probably a very good killer I have a lot of fun with. It comes down to my, I think, a top few. I don't know how many are left. Maybe top 5 now. I'm going to say... I'm going to go say it's going to be the Hag. Like Trapper, he has traps. Or the Hag has traps. But unlike Trapper, traps are infinite. And she can place to whatever spots basically with all. Yeah, that's pretty good. Being able to teleport, also its hexes are really good. The killer's very short, very fast, can't see it that much. Heartbeat's decent. Yeah, not much to say, it's just a very interesting and fun killer to play as. I have a lot of fun playing as it. Maybe a little broken, but it's still a very balanced killer. After the Hag will be Ghostface. Ghostface is another very overpowered killer. Needs to get a nerf. Let me think. You would nerf it, and it's... I'd say that you could, unshroud him, or uncloak him. Like, even if you're not looking at it directly, like, if you're just looking, because sometimes you're, like, turn one way, but you can't uncloak him, but you can see him. I think I would change that. But, yeah, Bree Bounce Killer doesn't need to be changed. It's a very fun killer to play as, too. So that's all these killers I've done yet. I think. Yep. So next would be I think my 3 left. Yep, 3 left. So next would be the Wraith. I think the Wraith is a very fun killer. Very stealthy, unique ability. Perks are really bad, but to be this high up and have his perks be really bad is actually something that you guys should all take note of. That his perks don't define his killer. It's actually just his ability to uncloak and cloak. I think that because of that, he's a very good killer to play as, and a very fun one too. And you have all these unique add-ons that make it even more fun. And that's why he's number 3. Now here's first and second. So you guys might be thinking one of these doesn't belong up here, but I'll tell you which I think is the best and which one I think is just not as good. And here it is. In second place, the Hunter's Sword of Shape is going to be the Shape. I think the Shape is a very unique killer, very fun to play as, being silent, being tall, having unique perks, having a unique personal ability that allows you to one-kill survivors sometimes. The only reason why he's not ahead of the Huntress is because the Huntress has something very interesting on his add-ons that make it very broken. And so does Shape, but it's not as good as the Huntress. And the Huntress would be the number 1 spot in my favorite kill to play as, because it could have one hatchet, and you can throw it to insta-down. And it's very broken to play as, because you can throw that. With the Shape, you have to manually chase up to them and hit them. But you can still one-shot them, which is fun. But the Huntress, if you have that perk on, you can just throw it. They can be around like a pallet, hit them, they're down. Then you break the pallet, grab them. Very broken, very fun, and doesn't really need a change because that add-on's pretty rare. But yeah, that's definitely, though, I think is the most fun killer to play as. Anyways, if you guys disagree with any of these killers, think that one should be higher or one lower, comment down below and tell me what your favorite killer is too. And please like and subscribe, and I'll see all you guys in the next one.